Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe and welcome to the new segment on my channel that I'm going to call Saturday Mornings. And this is episode 1, and what it is basically is me going through all the cool reveals or any kind of news or anything I thought was awesome that came out the week prior. And I'm just going to take a minute to talk about it, whether it's movie trailers, action figure news, or anything cool in comic books. I thought it'd be cool just to get in front of the camera and talk about that kind of cool stuff and hopefully interact with people and see what other people thought about things. But let's get right into it, starting with some movie trailers. And the first one I want to talk about is the new Venom trailer from Sony. And I thought it looked pretty interesting. I know a lot of people were upset that it didn't really show too much. It didn't really show Venom or feel like a Venom trailer, but I thought it did a good job at setting up like the tone and how the movie's gonna feel. I thought it was kind of cool how it felt more like a thriller, almost like with some horror elements and like a sci-fi horror thriller. And I thought that was like a really cool approach for a Venom movie, especially if it's gonna be kind of separate from like the Marvel universe and whatever Spider-Man is going on. I have heard rumors that like Tom Holland's Spider-Man can appear in that, but none of the other MCU characters can appear in that Venom movie. So it's going to be interesting to see how they work it all out. But honestly, for me, even if they don't include Spider-Man, I wouldn't be too upset as long as it's a really cool movie. And I feel like from what we saw, it could be like pretty interesting. But yeah, I know a lot of people were upset about it. But I mean, I don't know. I think we got to wait to see when the movie comes out and then you could be upset about it. But for now, I thought the trailer teaser looked kind of cool. I do really look forward to seeing a full trailer, and there was some pretty crazy shots in there. I like the fact that they showed the Golden Gate Bridge, you know, because it takes place in the Bay, and I know that like there's a comic book from the 90s where Venom left New York and he came over to California and did his thing over there. It was called Lethal Protector. I wasn't really a big fan of that or any Venom comic books, to be honest. I always thought Venom was cool as like a character, or like just him in the animated series. He always made for fun action figures. And the only Venom book that I really liked was the one by Rick Remender from a few years ago, where it was Agent Venom with Flash Thompson and all that stuff. And I really do hope that they take some elements from that, but we'll see. I know that they like to incorporate some of the old stuff and new stuff in these movies, so yeah, I think it'd be cool to see that. And there was a few interesting things in there. I like the fact that they showed the symbiote real quick, even though it wasn't too detailed. It kind of just showed it in a canister. And then it also showed like some other like displays of powers. I'm not sure what that's coming from. I doubt that it's coming from Venom, but there was a part where like a bunch of people kind of went flying and stuff like that, and some cars were flying around. So who knows what all that is, but it is interesting and we'll see how it goes. And then the next trailer that was awesome that a lot of people were excited about, of course, was the Deadpool 2 trailer. And it was really awesome to finally get a look at Cable. I think that Josh Brolin looks really cool. I like that whole like joke they did with the arm, and then they kind of took a jab at Justice League, and I thought that was cool. And I like the part where it shows Deadpool playing with the action figures. And of course, if you were like me and you love action figures, which you probably do, you were probably wondering what those figures were and whether they were Marvel Legends or what was going on, and if they were figures that we were possibly going to see one day. But we'll see. Yeah, those looked cool. I would take that Cable and that Deadpool, so I don't know. But yeah, the trailer was awesome, and I thought that was really cool that there was a point in there where it showed Deadpool coming out of like a airplane or something, and there was some other characters in the background. And I didn't catch this myself, but I saw some screenshots online and people were pointing out, like trying to guess what the other characters were. And it looked like some people were thinking that Terry Crews was playing Bishop, but it looked like he was GW Bridge, which is super awesome, like an old school crazy X-Force character. And it'd be crazy if they included a bunch of those characters. Like imagine if we saw Grizzly in there. I mean, Grizzly, I don't even think I ever read a comic book with Grizzly, but I used to love the action figure that came with 2 hammers from the Toy Biz days. But yeah, so that was a really cool, I thought the trailer was awesome, and it was cool to see Domino doing her thing and some of the other characters from Deadpool 1 showing up in there. So I think that was pretty cool. I thought it was funny. I don't think any of the like humor felt like played out or anything. I really do think that Deadpool 2 is going to be up there with Deadpool 1. I'm sure it's going to be hard to capture the magic that was in Deadpool 1, but I think that Deadpool 2 will get pretty close in terms of just quality of film, so we'll see. Even though I don't think we'll see any action figures from the Venom movie, it does kind of seem that Hasbro is going to put some merchandise behind Venom in general. Last week we saw some reveals for some new Venom figures, including a re-release of the Marvel Legends Venom from a few years back and the Marvel Legends Carnage from a few years back, with a couple added accessories. So I think that's pretty cool for people that missed those figures. I kind of wish that we'd get a Venom like on a new body, like maybe the Spider UK body. I think that'd be kind of cool, even though it'd maybe be a little bit small. It'd be like a nice change, and I kind of like that body better than the Venom body that they used back in, or a couple years ago. But it's cool to get those re-releases with some added parts. Hopefully we get an unmasked Eddie Brock head. So And then for Deadpool, obviously it looks like Hasbro's, you know, going all in this time. They kind of ignored it with the first movie, but, you know, the Deadpool wave is already showing up, and then you got a bunch of Deadpool, like, you know, like the Titan figures, the 12-inch Titan figures for kids, and just random cool stuff going on. So that's cool that they're going full force for Deadpool this time. And there was nothing really huge in the world of comic books that I noticed that caught my attention. I'm sure there was a bunch of stuff going on, but just nothing that affected me really. But let's go right into action figures. One thing that I thought was cool that we saw that was pretty recent was NECA revealed pictures of their upcoming Crash Bandicoot figure. And I think that was pretty cool. I was never a big Crash Bandicoot fan, but I like the possibility of getting some different kind of video game characters. I'd like to see NECA do like Mega Man or something like that. Or Mario, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of people that do Mario already, but if they're doing random video game stuff, it'd be cool to see like what other characters that they do. But the figure does look pretty cool. It's going to be 7-inch scale, so it's going to be about 5 inches tall, and it has a bunch of articulation, which is nice. I heard that it has articulating eyebrows, so that's pretty interesting. And yeah, I think fans of Crash Bandicoot are going to go crazy about this figure. And the next reveal that I saw this week that I thought was interesting was the upcoming Walmart exclusive Thanos figure. And I never built the Build-A-Figure because I just wasn't really interested in that wave, and I wasn't crazy about that Build-A-Figure. But this one here, I think that it looks cool. I think I'll pick it up. I like the colors a lot more, and I like the alternate head. The angry head I think is awesome on him. And I like that he has the interchangeable Infinity Gauntlet. So I'm kind of glad that I skipped out on the Build-A-Figure, because I do look forward to picking this up. And it's going to be cool to be able to get that for like $20, you know, if you find it at the store. So it's pretty good. And then last but not least, in the action figure realm, the one thing that I was really excited about from this week was the Mezco 112 Collective Black Panther. And I think he looks awesome. Check him out. A bunch of promo pictures came out. He comes with a bunch of cool accessories. He's got a cool like shield and a spear, a bunch of hands, a stand, all the normal Mezco 112 Collective stuff. And from what I could tell just in the promo pictures, it looks like the material that they used on Black Panther is pretty much the same material that they used on Superman. It's kind of a little bit thicker, and I want to say it feels like a little bit spongy, but it's durable. It doesn't feel like it's going to rip or anything like that, and it doesn't restrict his articulation any more than any of the other cloth does on these figures. But I think that was a pretty good choice, and hopefully it kind of stands up to a lot of posing and things like that, and you don't have to worry about it ripping. But yeah, that's a super cool figure. Hopefully we'll get like a comic book version of Black Panther, which probably would be pretty simple for Mezco to do, but maybe they'll do that as like an exclusive or like a previews exclusive. And yeah, hopefully that'd be cool. And Marvel Legend figures have been popping up all over the place. People have been finding the Avengers Infinity War wave at Walgreens. They've been finding the Lizard Build-A-Figure wave at Walgreens, and of course Deadpool has been popping up at Toys R Us for the last couple weeks. And then the Legendary Riders have been popping up too at comic book stores. I don't think I've seen anyone find them like any at the big retailers, but they're out there. I'm sure you can find them on eBay for a decent price, and those are cool. You know, I reviewed Ghost Rider. That's on my channel right now, so you can check that out. And for other reviews on my channel, I reviewed the Mezco 112 Collective Spider-Man figure, which you can check that out. I'll leave links for both of those in the description below, so hopefully you enjoy those and they're helpful. And something else I want to do on this little Saturday morning segment is a little action figure spotlight, where I take a minute to show some love to a random action figure from my collection that I've always loved and I just want to kind of bring some attention to. And for this week, the spotlight goes to the Marvel Select Ultron. I've always loved this figure. It's one of my favorite Marvel Select figures. I think that no one will ever make a better Ultron, especially a classic comic book Ultron. Yeah, he's just awesome. He's very simple, but he captures the look of the character perfectly. He does have some pretty decent articulation too. The only articulation point that he's missing is the double jointed elbows. He doesn't have that for whatever reason, but everything else is pretty good. And yeah, he's just perfect. Another thing I kind of wish that he had was like little you know, bubbles in his mouth to kind of emulate the Kirby crackle. But yeah, this figure is awesome. If you don't have him, I definitely suggest picking him up. I don't know how much he goes for these days. I know that Marvel Select does re-releases and things like that pretty frequently, so hopefully he's out there and can be purchased pretty easy. But yeah, he's an awesome figure. He does fit in with Marvel Legends pretty much. If you're okay with Ultron being a little bit bigger than the rest of your heroes, then he's a perfect Ultron for your Avengers setup. And yeah, that's it. That's the action figure spotlight for this week, and hope you enjoyed it. Go pick this guy up. So that's it. That's episode 1. Just a couple things I wanted to run through and talk about that kind of got me excited this week. And let me know what you think of all these things that I discussed, the trailers, the action figures, and let me know what you thought of this video. I do plan on doing these every week. We'll see how it works out. You know, I'm not going to commit and say for sure every Saturday morning at this time you're going to have one of these, but I am going to try, and this is the first one. Let me know what you think, and we'll see how it all goes, and have a good weekend. Peace.